So I'll go through the brief slide, and then Devesh will do the demo for the solutions we have. So a couple of things. The agenda is talk about the big trends that are happening, the option of mobility becoming easy, so the whole action wherein mobile becomes a centerpiece of the enterprise strategy. Bots, what are bots? What do they do? How can they help you? Augmented reality with respect to how can you engage the customer better. So what's happening is IT is becoming very consumerized. You have lots of changes happening, device being fragmented. You have multiple, as you know, if somebody of you are doing mobile testing, you would know how many devices you will have to test your solution against. And that becomes a task by itself. Fragmentation in the app market, different apps for different things, and each app kind of doing what the other does to some extent. Your compute becoming cheaper. So I think AWS, some of you have used Amazon, you've seen the prices reduce probably every week, I guess, maybe. The growth of cloud, and also the big use of machine learning in different areas. So helping machines to understand better and also process things. So processing language, processing text, human voice, so to speak. So let's talk about mobility in the enterprise. So why do we need mobile? So let's look at enterprises. They have different teams. There's a mobility team, there's a digital team, there's an iOS team, there's an Android team, there is a Windows team, different teams doing different things, doing the same transformation stuff. The need for more apps, engagement from an enterprise. So most enterprises now have internal apps wherein they are engaging their internal employees. You want faster development, you want better looking apps, you want easy development. So to some extent, things are getting complicated for enterprise, as per Gartner. So key challenges from an enterprise perspective, security. You will have to, if you're doing a custom app development, you will have to manage a security component of it. Connecting to different data sources. So you will have to connect to, let's say you have your data somewhere else. You have on the cloud, you want to bring it in, then you'll have to optimize that data pipe that you're building the mobile app for. Hook it up, bind it, then consume it. Time to market also is a key challenge because now you have custom development takes a lot of time. Can you scale the app? Does your app work for 10 people? Will the app work for 2,000 people, for example? You have different platforms. You have your iOS, your Android, different developer community. I mean, the Android guy doesn't like the iOS guy. They talk different stuff. So that becomes a big challenge. Last but not least, your learning curve. So you have to learn a lot of things. You're doing iOS, you'll have to learn Swift, you'll have to learn Objective-C, you'll have to learn C# for Windows, you'll have to learn Java and Android for Android development. So where the app builder platform comes in, it's an integrated platform with everything on it. So your learning curve is far, far less. You're able to build for any device, any screen. You have multiple systems wherein we help you with, like for example, you have the Telerik backend. So they were going to demo wherein the entire data of the bot is coming from one single system. So the entire backend is taken off. You don't have to maintain a backend for the mobile itself. So lots of these different scenarios are made easy for the enterprise to start with. So I'll hand over to Devesh. He's going to talk about bots.
Thank you, Anand. Yeah. So basically, let's go back and be at this slide where Anand was talking about how the app builder platform helps you. So I will first show you a demo and then we can talk about it. So here is basically has it come up? Yeah. Here is basically a website which has been, a web application which has been created using Angular 2 and all other Kendo UI widgets and other things, right? This is a web application. Sorry, did I click something wrong? Yeah, nothing. I just clicked one of the products, so it can go to your nice UI where you can edit. You have the data of the customers and all those things, right? Now I will show you something. I will basically connect and show you a mobile application for the same thing. So, yeah. So this is my phone, and I have another application for the same thing. So if you see here, this is still loading up. So if it is the same exact application which I'm showing you as a web application, there is an application on the mobile also. And this adheres to the Google's material design. And this is built on using the native script, which is again part of the app builder platform. So what's happening here is that application, the web application, and this native application, this mobile application, they have only one difference. That is the front-end UI. Everything else, whole code, the whole client-side logic, the client-side model, the back-end, everything is common. There is nothing other than the screens, because they have to be on different sizes, conform to different look and feel, is different. Other than that, nothing is different. Okay? And the good part is that it adheres to the various the UI standards that somebody has put in. So if Google has this a material design, it will show you material design. If the iOS, on the iOS, it would not show you the material design because it won't look like a native iOS app. So that is the good part of the native script. You just write all your logic once, everything is shared. It's only the UI that changes. That gets you a lot of developer time saved, because what we are doing here is, it is not a web view which is being shown to you. It is not, it is the native Android or the iOS application. It is completely native. The controls are completely native, and that is why they give you the exact same feel as the the native application would give. Also, all the APIs that are there for the native, that is the Android APIs, they are exposed via the native script in the JavaScript layer. So if you are an Android developer and you want to develop something in the Cordova world, in the Ionic world, you will have to go find plugins for that. If you don't have a plugin, you just will have to either write yourself or hack it up. But in case of native script, you don't have to do that. And because all the APIs, which are the native platform APIs, are exposed. The other advantage that you get is that Android releases a new version. If you are writing a Cordova app, you will have to basically take time till somebody develops and plugins and takes in those changes and gives you the features in the Cordova. While in this case, it is 0-day change. You have that change as soon as the Android is released, if you want to use it. So that's how the native script is helping. It is it helps you to, it's the same code base which basically creates web application for you, a mobile application. On that, it is you can create an Android application, you can create a iOS application, and the performance also is really, really better than the Cordova apps, because it is not running in a simulated web view environment, but on the actual platform, using the actual platform APIs. Okay. So now that was the one part of it. Now say, and mobile is an important system of engagement which has come up in the years. But now what is happening is people are going towards further automated assistant type of engagements. And that is where the bot as a system of engagement has emerged. Okay. So this, now people have, all these years we have been having a lot of system of engagements. We have SMS, Skype, we interact with the systems in different ways. But people now are wanting more from them. It was just a notification or a simple communication that happened one way or two way either. But there was no intelligent communication happening. That's what the bot framework gets you. So it now understands the natural or the spoken or the written language. So if you talk Hindi, Malayalam or English, you basically can interact with a system in your native language. So I'll show you a demo of that also. We have built a small bot using the same, again, with the same application. So if you see, let's go to this application which we had, a web application. So if I click on one of the products and I say, okay, the units in stock are now 13 and reorder level is 25. So I basically should reorder. And this, let's consider just a scenario where this has gone down because of some changes. Here I'm deliberately doing it here, but if it has gone down and you would want to restock your the product, then what happens? You basically would, when you say save there, that is basically you have changed because somebody has ordered from your inventory system. You want to, so when somebody has ordered, it is basically, it is reduced. So immediately a push notification is sent to your mobile, which was done in the native script. Simultaneously, what has happened is, if you have observed, a bot to which I have registered says, okay, this is the particular thing which has gone down. The reorder, do you want to reorder? You say, okay, yeah, please do a reordering for me. So it says, okay, that is done. Now, but you, this communication is happening and bot has given you all the details, but for some reason you would want to know what is the price of this guy. So what is the product that I am ordering, reordering, what is the price? So in that case, bot basically comes up with the price for that particular guy. And you have not told the bot that what product are you talking about, what are you talking about, you just asked for the price. It gave you the price. You can, that's because the bot has been coded such a way that it can basically store all the communication context. So whatever you're talking to him, it will get the context. Next, let's see if I ask it, so okay, what is the, or get me the supplier details, which supplier is basically supplying this thing. So then it gets me all those details. It understands that, okay, what you are asking, and it is fetching me the same data. If you say now, okay, what is the price of Chang? There is a product here, Chang. So I say, give me that. Now, till now, it was holding the context that it knew that you were talking about that product. Now you have changed the product, it basically comes up with the information. Oh. So the thing is, but it can interact in your native language, and it can give you all intelligent replies. It can fetch a lot of information just by communicating normally. Next, the chatbots in itself is not a new thing. It has been around for quite some time. So basically, if you would have heard of Alan Turing's test in 1950s, Alan Turing said that if you place one person as an observer and you make a machine and a human talk, and if those guys can, while the third person is observing, and if the third person at 70% of time cannot distinguish whether a machine is talking or a human is talking, then machine has reached the level where it can, it is an intelligent system. So basically, people to try to match Alan Turing's test went ahead and did some systems. Those systems was not as intelligent. They were basically based on the keyword identification in the sentences and all those things. But since 2006 onwards, when the deep learning and the AI has really picked up, the NLP field has really grown. And the Alice is, but still it is based on the pattern matching. That is what had happened with the NLP field growing. And Alice is one such bot which basically, it is an open source bot, and which uses a markup language to basically communicate. Then now recently with the, deep learning came, and then because of deep learning, the NLP has improved a lot more, and the bot is now coming off the edge. So the bot that I've showed you, the bot basically this is the architecture of the bot. So what it basically has is a Microsoft bot framework sitting at the back. There is a NLP engine known as LUIS. They are communicating with my custom written logic, which is hosted on Modulus. It is a Node.js application, and then it is talking to the same Telerik backend which we have seen in the first two apps. So here I will come back to the Telerik backend to show you that the other capabilities that Telerik backend gives you. So as we have seen, as Anant was talking about in his presentation before this, the data silos presentation, he told that the Telerik backend basically can give you a lot of, it can expose data for you. So just the DCI connectors are also integrated here, and you can, if you have a data somewhere in your database, you can just come declare it that this is the place where so and so my database is. Your database is, then it shows it gets the connection, it shows you all the items here. You open an item, you see all the details here. The good part is this is all exposed as a REST API immediately. So once you deploy your application, the thing is always is up and live. So, and there is a REST API which has been created for you. So if I say, okay, give me products, it gives me list of all the products which are available there and all the information regarding those products. So that is how we have been accessing it from our web application, our mobile application, and our bot, because we have a REST API very quickly available. Also, there are many other features which are provided here. So you can go to notifications and say, okay, configure my notifications. And that's how I got my push notification on my mobile application as soon as something reduced. You can also write certain business logics where if the data changes somehow as a result of any of the API interactions, and you want to take certain actions at that point of time, there are many different options available here which you can take. So in case of product, we have basically said, okay, as soon as something reduces, and we have written our all code of how to interact with the bot and how to interact with the mobile application and do all those things. Okay. So now, because the bot era basically has, we have the statement that bot era has officially begun, it is because basically there are many people who are investing in bot these days. Those are not small players, those are big players. So Slack, Facebook, even Microsoft, they are basically investing heavily in bots, and their frameworks are coming of age because of the AI and the NLP and all those backends which systems and the APIs which they are providing. So now we can leverage this and create our own bots. The Siri was something which basically Apple had, and it was with them only. We didn't have it open, no, we couldn't use that thing. But with the Google Now and other Alexa and other things, and the bot frameworks, we can provide customers with a new system of engagement, new type of interface. Okay. The next interface that we are going to talk today about is the augmented reality. There is virtual reality as well as augmented reality which has come up now. The problem, we have not mentioned virtual reality here and just the augmented reality because the use cases for the augmented reality are far more than the virtual reality. Virtual reality is limited to 5 or 6 use case segments like gaming and marketing and education, but AR has unlimited use cases and many use cases. I have here just put a little bit of use cases in this slide. Okay, so before I go there, what are the different, so what is the difference between the AR and the VR? The AR is that where you overlay the data on the real world view. So you are still seeing the real world, but there is an overlaid data. While in the VR world, that is the virtual reality world, everything is virtual. The world creation, what you see is completely virtual. Okay. What is the various parts of the AR? So AR can have an handheld device as well as the head-mounted display, that is same as the VR. It would need a visualization engine. It would need an object recognition system. It would need a processing unit, and then you need to create those models, those views which have to be overlaid over the real-time view that you have. So the common use cases in the AR are the training and education. So we all know that if you have a certain system, car engine or something, and you have 100 students, and if you give them a VR device which can overlay all the information of what is where and how the systems are flowing, what is happening when they do certain actions, that would really, really help them learn the system really well. So product design, so if there are architects or the people who are designing, say, car again, if they can see in the real time that, okay, this is the chassis, but if I put this kind of things over this, what would it look like in the real life? So that would give them a real sense of feel of a component, what is going on. And you can also collaborate with the remote teams to understand, okay, what are the, how your thinking is in terms of what is actually coming up. Space design is a field where you say, okay, there is this large, I have a house or I have a shop floor where I want to put hundreds of things. In my house, I want to see how a particular layout will look like. I have a new sofa, where do I fit? Where does it look really nice? That's how, without buying the sofa. And which sofa would look good in my house, how would it look? If you want to see all that, you can again use AR to overlay that information, put it in different angles and see. Marketing and sales. Marketing and sales, basically, you can give customer a product, and again, just like training and education, you can help him explore the product much better. Field service, so there is a nice use case here. So if, say, you bought a new house and you want to put everything, you hired an interior designer and you gave him the job of doing the design for your house. That person basically designed the house, and then that was fed to a system, and there are tens and 15s of workers working in that house to make that design a reality. How do you do that? So if all of them can have the AR view, they would know what to do where, and they would not mess up your house. The context-based information display is the most simplest of the use cases, where you say, okay, you have a new place or a historical place, you want to know more information about that, you identify the place, and then you overlay the particular contextual information. And gaming. Pokemon Go is a very, very famous example of gaming, AR gaming. Yeah. With that, we have prepared a small demo for AR also, and I would show you that. So here is a small application that I have, which basically says just click here to start AR demo, and when you start, it goes into your camera mode, showing you the real life picture of what is happening here. Now, if I have trained it only on one pattern, which is our progress logo. Okay. So here is the AR application, and I'm again in the camera view. Oh, sorry, this is the free software which I'm using to sync is giving. So now I have again gone on to the progress logo, and as soon as I go to the progress logo, it basically recognizes that it is a progress logo, and it shows me with the options that I have at that place. I say, okay, product details, it goes to and shows me all the details fetched from the database, which we have exposed through the REST API. Sorry, I clicked a little bit, I think 2 clicks I did, back buttons. Here I'm again into the camera view, so it is And because of it as a Progress logo, we have put few different rich media related to Progress here. So if I say, okay, what is innovation at Progress, there is a video of that, which means of this is. But what you can do is you can show the rich media also in the camera view. That's what I was trying to show. And it happens, but it works also. But yeah, so what I am doing in the background, this is again Telric platform application. This is backed by Vuforia engine. So there is AR engine. There are multiples of AR engines. We have chosen Vuforia. The menu that you saw, which came inside the camera, was just completely custom work. It was done in the application itself. There was no support from Vuforia was there for that. We only trained Vuforia to understand one pattern, and based on that pattern, it gave us the feedback, and then we did overlay everything into the camera view, which is what augmented reality helps you to do. That is all from me. I would be around. You can